Some things look better, baby, just passing through.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man I think I am at home. Oh no, no, no. And this is what I should have said. Touchdown brings me round again. Well, I thought it, but I kept it. No, no, no.
Sometimes I just can't take it. Sometimes I just can't take it, and it isn't alright. I'm not gonna make it, and I think my shoes untied. I'm like a broken record. I'm like a broken record, and I'm not playing right. Just cynical, how about you kill me till you tell me on the heavenly phone to hold tight. Come on, come on. Oh, come on, come on. Don't let go. Hold tight, hold tight. Oh, it's alright, you said. I got my hands up shaking just to let you know that you've got a higher power. Got me singing every second, dancing every hour. Oh yeah, you've got a higher power, and she really someone I wanna know. This boy is electric. This boy is electric, and you're sparkling like the universe connected. And I'm buzzing night after night after night. This joy is electric. This joy is electric, and you're circuiting through. I'm so happy that I'm alive. Happy I'm alive at the same time as you. 'Cause you've got a higher power. Got me singing every second, dancing every hour. Oh yeah, you've got a higher power, and you're really someone I wanna know. You got, yeah, you got a high. You got, yeah, you got a higher. You got, yeah, you got a high. You got, oh, you got, oh, you got a high. You got, yeah, you got a higher. You've got, oh, you got a high. My hands up shaking just to let you know now. You've got a higher power. You got me singing every second, dancing every hour. Oh yeah, you've got a higher power. You want it in your lifetime. I'm going a million miles an hour. When for so long I've been down on my knees in your love song. Set me over and over. For so long I've been down on my knees to your love song. Floats me over,
Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby. Baby, tonight's like fuego. We bout to spend the dinero. We party to the extremo, baby. Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby. Baby, tonight's like fuego. No son ni Reebok ni Sonai, nah. Sin estilista luzco fly. Yes. La Rosalía me dice que luzco guay. No te lo niego porque yo sé lo que hay. Lo que se ve no se pregunta. Soy tu espero y tengo claro que es mi culpa. Como Canelo en el ring nadie me asusta. Vivo en mi oasis y la paz no me la tumba. Hakuna Matata como Timon y Pumba. Voy pa' leyenda así que dale zumba. Los dejo ciego con la vibra que me alumbra. Haters pa' la tumba, nosotros pa' la rumba. Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby.
Baby, tonight's like fuego. We bout to spend a dinero. We party to the extremo, baby.
Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby.
Baby, tonight's like fuego. We bout to spend a dinero. We party to the extremo, 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 extremo. Ritmo.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to our U.S. counterparts. It's really great to have you all here this morning. Welcome to our first and ever all-hands meeting at Roma Moulding here at this company. This meeting came about because of all of you, and we really want to address you all on a 6-week to 8-week basis. We want to improve communication to all of you, and that's our commitment. That's what we want to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 6th all-hands meeting ever. I want to welcome you to an incredible event.
People only root for others at 2 times. First, when they're at the beginning of the race. Second, when they finish. Neither is when you need it, so you have to master the middle. The boring, exhausting, soul-crushing middle, that's where the winning happens.
Welcome to the 14th all-hands meeting. This is our 14th one. And as I look back, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. The audience keeps getting wider and longer, and it looks really great.
The greatest gifts in life are not in the plans. They're in the detour. It happens from things going right.
Welcome to
My
All
granddad
Hands
always
Meeting
said this.
26. This is a show that's been transpired from March 1st, 7.5 years ago. And you know, people think today we have great lighting, great seating, but it took 7.5 years to get to this point.
People will only cheer for you as long as you can't beat them at the game they value most.
Despite whatever challenges come our way, we're committed to overcoming those. We're committed to becoming the best of the best. We have an amazing, dedicated team of people here at this company like no other. And I can't wait to all hands meeting 32, 33, and 53 and onward. It's a continuous slow improvement.
I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed.
We're much more marathon thinkers than we are sprinters, and so with that mindset and context, we're able to achieve these things with more sustainability, and over time, this number keeps growing. If 2025 was ever a testament of what we're capable of, 26 is going to just be incredible. The recipe is pretty simple. When you bring together great people and you align them with values and they have heart and you trust them and you lead them and you inspire them and you move them, like success is imminent. So I want to leave you with this. Despite whatever's happening in the world, you can always count on me to hold this company to the highest regard. You can either go on the path that kind of is the same old, or you can be with a company like Roma, who wants to challenge conventional wisdom, go on uncharted waters, and thrive. Oftentimes, guys, we're faced with challenges in our life. And as you saw in this last video, we talk about the last 15 years or so. It was March 3rd, 2011, when we decided to do our first ever all hands meeting. And we didn't know what we were getting into. We thought it was going to be a 6-week thing. Every 6 weeks we were going to do this thing, and obviously we can't do it every 6 weeks. But we started out with a mission that we were going to do things very differently. And prior to that, I thought we did a lot of great things, but I think along the way we kind of lost who we had become. And at the core of who we are, make no doubt about it, we're a remarkable group of people. Because there are other companies out there in other industries that have had great products, great infrastructure, great value sets, but they missed the most important component. How are they curating the best of the best team? Because I don't know about you, but life by yourself, like when doing life by yourself, it would suck. And we're not meant to do life by ourselves. If you think of back, and I'm talking 10,000 years, when the early, Homo sapiens, like they gathered together, and then we slowly started creating villages, and people started taking care of each other, and then villages went to towns, and towns went to cities and metropolises, and you get the whole thing around people. And it's when you bring together great people, a remarkable set of core values, you align them really well, success is imminent. And I love this quote for so many reasons by Peter Drucker. If you don't know him, you're missing out. Drucker's one of the best ever leadership experts in the world. And Drucker is famous by saying the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence itself. The problem is it's to act with yesterday's logic in hope of fixing that turbulence. I want to say that differently. So think of this in your life. The greatest danger in times of challenge, maybe you got diagnosed with cancer. Maybe your wife or husband has. Maybe your son, has something that you're not yet figuring out, but it's bothering you, and you're at the doctor. Or maybe you're struggling in your marriage. Or your health is just not in good shape, and no matter what you do, it's not working. Like, we all have something. Some of us have more, some of us have less, but everybody in this room, watching live in our distribution centers and around the world, we all struggle with some form of turbulence. And I didn't want to change the word because that's his quote, but turbulence could mean so many things. It could mean you might have a problem in your life. You might have a monster challenge in your life. Maybe you bought a house and now, interest rates have moved and now you can't afford the mortgage. So it's, do I do the mortgage or do I pay for my kids' schooling? Like, these are real challenges people are faced with. Here's the one thing I'll tell you in all of that. Outside of, I think, the most important thing is to have God in your heart, and I think He's the ultimate guidance. But I think it's important to not go on, when you're faced with that challenge, is not to go backwards in your thinking, well, the last time I had this, I did this, and attack it that way. It's not going to work. It might work, but the probability is not great. And I love that Drucker said this, because whether you like it or not, the seasons are going to change, whether you like it or not. But you changing, you adapting to whatever that challenge is, I think is going to make the difference. See, because you can change because you have to, and that's a tough way to change, or you could change before you have to. It's a very subtle difference. And in our business, we've been changing, we've been ebbing and flowing, we've had turbulence, and by the way, we're not the only ones. When I say us, I'm saying us because you guys have felt it here, not only in Toronto, but across the United States and abroad. In our business, change is inevitable. The markets are going to change. Consumer demands are going to change. The speed in which we work is going to change. Are we adapting to change, or are we just going to be forced to change? And when you have a gun at your head, proverbially, to change, it rarely is good. And the adage is, Noah, when he built the ark, he didn't build the ark in the midst of the flood. He built the ark 18 months before the flood. Now, sometimes when you're early to change, guess what happens? Anybody? What happens when you're early to change? Anybody? Criticize. Thank you. Anybody else? There's pushback. You get prepared. Yeah. The reality is Noah was ridiculed. He was laughed at. He was mocked at. He was challenged. They thought he was a loony, like he lost his marbles, like on and on and on and on. And I can imagine, here's this guy making this ark. By the way, he made the ark in the middle of land. It's not like he was close to the shore. And imagine the ridicule his family had to go through. Hey, is that your dad? You know, they're going to school, and they see this guy making an ark in the middle of nowhere. And because he's claiming there's going to be a flood, and everybody's talking about him like he's losing his mind, and then the ridicule happens to the family because you're guilty by association. Hey, Johnny, is that your dad there? Noah? Does your dad lose his mind? That's stupid. Probably got ridiculed, and then on and on and on and on. And we know how that story went, right? So, I don't know, I'm of the opinion we're building the ark, and we've been building it for months, if not years. You know, I wanted to start out with a video that really touches at the core of who we are. And our all hands meetings are really, for me, kind of like the chapters. And folks, it's been 15 years since we had our first all hands meeting. And boy, did we get ridiculed. We got ridiculed all day and twice on Sundays. From our own team, we got ridiculed. You know, we're going to lose sales. You know, people are going to hate us. How are we going to shut off the phones? How are we going to do this? But when you have a conviction and you have a belief in something far bigger, sometimes, and I'm going to tell you this, sometimes you need to take a few steps back to take that huge leap forward. And I feel like we're in that spot right now. Now, the danger in that spot is, if you listen to the noise out there, you know, your dad's crazy, he's building an ark, that must be stupid. And then you start criticizing, you know, Noah. That could be the end of civilization, so to speak, as the story goes. And I don't know about you, but we've assembled a group of people who are not okay with okay. We've assembled a group of people who want to challenge conventional wisdom. We have a group of people who want to remove friction so our customers can have a remarkable experience. When I talk about all that, in essence, it's all the little tweaks we're making. When Co will move a table a little bit, or Van, or Adrian in Atlanta, or Anthony in LA is putting his hand up, you know, if we just tweak this just a little, you know, we'll get a 1% lift. And if Anthony's lifting 1%, and then Ross is lifting 1%, and then Luke and Tanya are lifting 1%, and then, you know, Brian and John and Co and Van and all the other amazing humans, when you look back over 15 years, you're like, whoa, because you can't see the progress while you're in it. You never can see the progress while you're in it. But let me tell you about a few companies that didn't adopt that mindset. Show of hands, who remembers Kodak? Yeah, where's Michael? Yeah, you remember that? All right. How are you? Good to see you. Mike's the last one. Thanks, Ross. So Kodak, great company of the 70s and 80s. Would you not say? Yeah, it was on every corner. Well, Kodak had a $31 billion market cap. That means at the height of their company, the company was valued at $31 billion with a B, billion dollars. Do you know they invented the digital camera? They invented it, and guess what they did with it? They put it in a shelf, and they locked it up behind closed doors, and they said no, because that's gonna maybe change things. And why would we want to change things? Because we got Michael and Ross buying endless amounts of film. And Tony and Johnny and everybody else, globally, $31 billion. Now, it's easy for me to say that sitting here, isn't it? Post, you know, what happened. Well, they stayed loyal to film, and they were claimed bankrupt in 2012. Let's keep going. Who here had a BlackBerry? Show of hands. Show of hands. Hold on, keep them up. I want to do something. It's a good 30% of the population here, 30 to 35%. I had a BlackBerry. I remember we all had them here. We thought we were like cowboys. I remember that. We had the hoster. Who had a hoster? Yes, Luke, you had a hoster. You didn't have a hoster. Luke's too cool for holsters. $85 billion valuation of that company. $85 billion. They built the keyboard phone, but they missed touch screens. I remember I was just there. And by the way, I'm like, I'm never giving up by BlackBerry because it has BBM. Who remembers BBM? It was epic. How is this device going to give me BBM? Boy, was I wrong. Well, the company was spun off, and now you can't even buy a BlackBerry if you wanted to. I'm going to say it slowly, $85 billion. Who remembers Blockbuster? Blockbuster? Saturday Night Blockbuster? It was ingrained in the culture of North America. You would go to Blockbuster with your dad. By the way, you knew, because my dad would go late, you knew everything was already sold out and you had to get a second or third tier film. But it was still cool because you got some snacks and it was just Blockbuster, man. And there was free popcorn and it was just cool. Well, here's their fate. 8.4 billion market cap, pretty big. They watched live streaming and streaming come through Netflix. And they actually had an opportunity to acquire Netflix and then went bankrupt in 2010. Did they fail to change? Did they fail to see something different? Did they question what they're doing to say there might be a better way? I don't know. Because in our lives, I talked about the challenges, whether challenges cancer or challenges in your marriage or your health or whatever. Are you going on yesterday's kind of, this is what I think should be done, or worse, this is what my parents did? Don't ever do that. Even though you might have great parents, it was a different era. It was a different time. Well, you know, in my era, we would get home, we all ate at the table together every day, we did this. Yeah, I never went to soccer practice, didn't have keyboarding, I didn't have, all the other things today. And just life, I say life is different. It's not necessarily better or worse, just different. And that mentality won't serve you today. You've got to look, and I've always said this, success leaves clues. Look out there to see who has that family. And by the way, they're not perfect. You're not looking for perfect. You're looking for really good. Who is that family? How are they navigating kids and cancer and health issues and marriage issues? Who are they? Go follow them. Success leaves clues. They're telling you exactly what they did and how they did it. And here's the other kicker. If you ask them, see, today, you can get on your Instagram and you can actually ask them a question because you just go here, ask them a question, and they respond, for the most part. I'm always shocked. I follow a few pastors in the U.S., and it's wild. Like, I actually hit up a pastor. I'm like, listen, I watched that thing on X, Y, and Z, and it blew me away. What did you mean by X? And then 3 days later, I get a response. I'm like, wow. Now, whether this is his team or whether it's him, I don't know, but I pushed something and something came right out. Wild. So we all have choices. Do you take that advice? Do you follow success? Or do you rest on what was in hopes that it works? Well, here's the spoiler alert. It's usually not the strongest that survive, not even the most intelligent, because I know a lot, you guys know this, I know a lot of intelligent people who are stupid. And I know it's an oxymoron, but I know a lot of intelligent people who are stupid. But it's not even that. It's the ones that are most responsive to change. So let's look at that a bit deeper. Netflix. Show of hands, who has a Netflix subscription? Show of hands, keep them up, 50%. Great. How much is it now a month? $25. And every other day, they're like, hey, to keep the service at an epic level, it's an extra 53 cents this month. Or $2.50, right? Well, Netflix, let's talk about Netflix. Founded in 1997. For context, we were founded in 1984. They began as a DVD by mail-in. Mail-in the DVD. That's as painful as us accepting faxes. And they have a $500 billion market cap. Huge number. Do you think the folks at Blockbuster are kicking themselves? Because they probably could have got that company at a valuation of maybe, I don't know, 10 million, maybe 30 million, 500. Amazon. Show of hands, who has an Amazon account? An account, doesn't mean you buy it. Yeah, easy, 50%. Amazon was founded in 1994, started as an online bookstore. You guys all know that. And I recall following Amazon.com, and really they were the first one that would publish Cyber Monday results. And every year you would see the number jump, like by tens of hundreds of millions of dollars. And today they're a $2.5 trillion company. Trillion. The numbers are astronomical. Now, YouTube is another great example. Recently, not recently, but they got bought out by Google. Founded in 2005, began as a video dating service. I didn't even know that. Who knew that? Anybody? Nobody? I didn't know that. But in my research, I found there was a video dating site. Do you imagine the ridicule they must have got early on? A video dating site? I could just walk into a bar, grab a drink, and they come to me, so to speak, right? Like, imagine that. And now I got to go online with my 2 fingers. Like, you got to go back to 2005. Context today, it's like, yeah, everybody meets online now, right? 550 billion. Apple, great company. I think they're in a bit of a conundrum. I think they're in the middle of a transformation. By the way, transformations also look messy. Sometimes take a step back. It sounds good. Take 3 steps back to take that big leap forward. It's great metaphorically, but think about we're having dinner over, or we're having guests over for dinner. And prior to the guests coming over for dinner, how's your house? Chaotic? Messy? My wife said, we're having people over in 3 hours, vacuuming, cleaning things. I'm like, maybe the house is clean, but it's like chaos in the house. Kids are doing dishes. Everybody's doing stuff. It's chaotic. Dinner comes out. It's magical. But the middle looks like a mess. Founded in 1979, started as a PC company, personal computer company, and has a staggering $3.2 trillion market cap. Ridiculous numbers. But here's the difference with Apple, and I admire them so much. I don't love everything they do, but I admire them so much. So iPod launched in 2001. Price was $399 USD. It had a 5 gig storage. And the whole claim to fame when Jobs, released it was, you'll have 1,000 songs in your pocket. 1,000. I went from those little, I forget even what they're called. It was a Walkman, but you could do your Napster through it. And if I had like 12 songs, it was amazing. And here, this revolutionary product came out with 1,000. Like, it was staggering, right? 450 million of those little babies were sold in its lifespan. When I was doing this, I'm like, where did they put the old 450 million of these things? Where are they? Probably incinerated, and now they're part of our shoes or something, but I don't know. But then Apple created the iPhone, a natural progression. iPhone launched in 2007. You know the iconic Jobs holding up, I love that icon. He's holding up the iPhone, and it's like, it's an internet device. What else was it? It was a telephone, and it is a music player. Epic. Priced at $1,000 USD, storage 1 terabyte, and could hold endless amounts of our ridiculous photos and our ridiculous videos and music, and they've sold over 3 billion of them with a B. Those are monster numbers. But the difference is, and I love what Steve Jobs reminds us, is if you don't reinvent your own products within your company, someone else will. There will be someone else who will come, Blockbuster, BlackBerry, who will destroy you because they're thinking different. They're challenging the conventional way. It used to be mail-in. They're changing that. They're probably early adopters. They're probably like Noah 18 months before, people thinking they're stupid, dumb, idiotic, kids getting ridiculed, everybody in the company, all that. But if you don't do it, someone else will. And I love the quote. I don't even want to butcher it. If you don't cannibalize, very dramatic, yourself, someone else will. And think about this even in our own lives. I wish we thought like this in our marriages. How do we become the best version of ourselves every day before our spouse gets somebody else? What does that look like, right? That despite you're in cancer, or despite you're overweight, or despite, you're still showing up as your best. Can you imagine we took that on? Like, we wouldn't have 60% divorce rates. Ridiculous numbers, right? Let's bring it back to business. If we don't change, someone will beat us. It's guaranteed. And let me tell you, as a CEO of this company, I get the privilege to go out in trade shows around the world. I just got back from Barcelona. I was hanging out with Luke for 2 days, and we're looking at companies with tech that is like, what? I'm not even talking about robots or humanoids. Like, I'm talking about they're printing like garments. Like, people are printing, out of a printer comes a dress, and people are like putting, like, garments are coming out of a printer that is now usable and achievable. Like, it's not a $1 million printer, it's a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 printer. Prices have come down, things are shifting, people are changing, the tech is changing, AI is changing, everything is changing. So I love this for so many reasons. Because in life and in school, we're taught by our parents that it's gonna be okay, everything's gonna work out. Thank God Noah didn't listen. Don't worry about the flood. It's gonna be a bit of water. Don't worry about it. Because the reality is, folks, I'm gonna go back to this screen. The reality is, right here, you're gonna have fans at the beginning of the race. I run Spartan, you guys know that. And my family's right there at the front. Dad, you're the best, signs and everything. And it kind of looks like this. Luke, you're a runner. Now you have the little one is also standing by. And, I'm using this running analogy because we all get it. But everybody's at the starting block. And you're like, yeah, let's do this. You're full of it. You're ready. You're pumped up. You've been doing your burpees. Everything's great. And then you also have those same people are at the end of the race because everybody wants a photo with you at the end of the race, partly because they want to celebrate you and partly because they need a selfie or it doesn't look good on Instagram. So there's all this happening at the finish line. But the reality is that it's that middle portion that you're alone. And it looks more like this. It's lonely. And think of a company when you're going through challenges and obstacles and this guy's trying to do that, and that company's, not wanting to play, and they're playing dirty and nasty, and they have a lawsuit, and they're trying to steal people, and they're like, it is a mess. It is life. Is not that. Like I tell my daughter, that's not life. It's not life. Don't ingrain that in their heads, because it's not the reality. I'd rather prepare them. Now, I'm not telling them it looks like this all the time either, but I want to prepare them. And I want to share with you guys, we are prepared. We're in the middle right now. The middle looks like stormy, and sometimes it can look dark and gloomy, especially we're in Canada. Like, there's so many other great things that are happening, but sometimes it's a lot. And sometimes we have breakdowns, and sometimes, we're not our best. But it's in that middle that everything happens. All the training, all the burpees, all the lessons, everything, everything happens in the middle. And the sad part is you're alone. You will be alone in the middle. It's just the reality of life. Now, as I show you these videos, people say that an overnight success is usually 10 years. You ever hear that? Or like, oh yeah, well, Apple, yeah. Yeah, they're 4 decades, 5 decades, 6 decades. You just weren't there in the training, in the trenches, right? I'm going to show you a bit of these overnight successes and how they came to be. Steve Jobs, 20 years old. He was an orphan. This is Steve Jobs holding the first iPhone in 2007. Steve was fired from his own company he started. Fired, terminated, extinguished, kaput, out, get out. He was sued, ousted, replaced, diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which obviously which took his life. He was rejected, criticized, doubted, ignored, counted out. People like me laughed at this device. Like me. I laughed. I'm guilty. But he went on. Like he had a conviction for something way bigger and was okay to be misunderstood for a prolonged period of time. Virgin. We all know Virgin. Richard Branson's here, 16 years old, started his company, by the way. 16. At 16 years old, the only thing I wanted to do was play foot soccer in the park with a tennis ball. That was, here Richard Branson's starting a business. And you know, he went on to do Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Records and blah, 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 blah. You guys know the story. The point is, he's dyslexic. He's dyslexic. He can't read properly. Yet dropped out, bankrupt, sued, stranded, criticized, challenged, risked, disrupted, investigated. Now he's still alive and still going. So, you know, now he bought an island and he invites entrepreneurs and he talks about life. He talks about these things. Well, because you're going to get maybe some ailment. You're probably going to get dropped out of it. You will be sued. You will be stranded. You will be. He prepares entrepreneurs or the next group of entrepreneurs for that. Amazon, he started at 30 years old. He was a really great hedge fund manager in New York City, making an obscene amount of money. Obscene. Started seeing the e-com boom or the internet online sales, as they called it at that time, really scaling like 300, 400, 500% increases. That's him today. Obviously, a little Botox goes a long way. Right, Tanya? And Michael. But he's been rejected, criticized, sued, divorced, scrutinized, investigated, mocked, risked, challenged, and obviously has been controversial. It's amazing. Like, put your face up there. Wherever you are in your life, if you're 50, great. If you're 20, you still have stuff. You're going to get more punches. But just think of what it is. And sometimes we don't champion the middle. We don't champion this. We see Bezos on some boat because we're scrolling. He's like, must be nice, right? You know what must be nice is? Must be nice is the polite way of, I just listened to this from a pastor. It was beautiful. Must be nice. Who says must be? I say must be. Who has said must be nice? Everybody. Okay. Must be nice, right? It actually, what you're actually saying is, that's not fair. Is it not? It's actually the polite, kind of disguised, what's the word Jennifer uses? Kind of passive-aggressive. Thank you. She calls me that once in a while. I've been called worse, but it's a nice way of saying, you know, that's not fair. But look what he went through. See, no one sees this. Everybody sees Noah on the boat while everybody else is swimming. Whoa, they can't breathe and they're dying, right? Like, but he built it 18 months before. We're not immune to this change, folks. This is how it started. It wasn't pretty, no fanfare. In fact, at our first trade show, they mocked my dad. He tells this story all the time. Mocked my dad. They laughed at his lacquered moldings with color and shine. Only to, on the third day, that exact person who mocked him came and said, I'll buy that line for you. Just take it down. I'll give you, what's it worth, 20 grand? At that time, that was money. I'll buy it all. Just don't show it again. And my dad said, well, no, you do you, and I'll do me. And thank God he did, right? But that's us today, so to speak. I didn't have a photo of everybody, but that, and where we are today, we've been criticized. We've been sued a lot. A lot. You know what? Listen, I think I could teach the law course in university. That's all I'm saying. And you know why? Because you're doing shit. Do you know what? You know why no one bothers certain people? They're not doing anything. They're just in the corner there, like a plant. They're doubted, they're scrutinized, we were mocked, cheated, ignored, disrupted, and challenged. But here's the beauty. They thought they could keep us down. They thought getting some lawyer on us was going to hit us, or some SaaS model was going to break us, or that some challenge was going to destroy our supply chain, or destroy LA or Atlanta or anywhere else, New Jersey, Toronto, our sales team, our procurement team. What they don't know is we've been building. You just coming at us with one punch, we're ready. See, we don't live in sunshine and rainbows. See, we know what's coming. And you know, I love fast cars. And the difference between, in some cases, the winner and the loser, because second place is first last, the difference is often just a little bit. And it's those companies that have adapted. Because if you don't adapt, you will die. Just like in your life, if you have a sickness, figure out what you can do dramatically. Maybe you shouldn't smash burgers every day. Maybe you shouldn't ingest that much sugar. You have diabetes. Maybe you gotta be kind to your wife. Or not. And then what's that outcome? You see, because the fact of the matter is we've been listening. All hands meeting one. It's okay to look. By the way, why other people don't win? They're not okay with looking stupid for a little bit of time. How many times have you tried something? Anybody try something and look stupid and you know you look stupid? Show of hands. Nobody, right? Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Like, look at your... So I'm teaching my young son to ride a bike. He's like, no, Dad, because he's doing this cool thing now. Right? No, Dad, I want this. And I'm like, no. And I know, and so I'm like his biggest cheerleader. I'm holding him. I'm making sure he's not, right? Like, if he's not okay with looking stupid for a little bit, he'll never win. We're innovating like crazy. There's a lot behind the scenes we're doing that people don't necessarily see. In fact, some of the things I don't see. You know, whether the operations team here moves a table, moves a machine, moves this, tweaks that, you know, you're not seeing it in finance, you're not seeing it in marketing. Or if marketing changed the algorithm and changed how they do and changed the SEO, and then suddenly, I don't know, like, more business is coming in. Yeah, because we have a relentless group of people who are not okay with okay and who are challenging conventional wisdom and who, by the way, are okay to fail. I always say it's okay to fail once, just don't do the same thing twice. And we're executing such an underrated flex. Executing. What does that mean? A lot of people, we're doing this and we're going to do this and we're doing that and, well, we haven't gotten there yet, but we're actually pulling levers, pressing buttons with our feet, doing, like, I don't know anybody in this company that's bored. Show of hands, who is bored here at this company? And by the way, if you are bored, you probably left. But here's what I'll tell you. We've onboarded a huge amount of people in a very short period of time. And many of them, when I say, why did you leave their company? They give me the politically correct answer. Well, you know, leadership was going in the wrong direction, HR, right? I'm like, all right, that's good for HR. I really, why did you leave? Why? Give it to me. And many of them say, I'm just bored. Bored. Bored? And then I look at Anastasia. Are you bored? And her answer is? No. And then I ask Michael if he's bored. And he says no. And Paula and Ross and whoever else it may be. You imagine coming to work every day and you're bored. My God, what a nightmare. Well, we're listening, folks. And people want great products from us. This is what they want. They want reliable products, simple products. They want convenience of that product. They want intelligent products. They want speed. They want consistency. They obviously want quality, and they want innovation. The other thing they want is they want reliability. They want, can I rely on Roma? They want trust, consistency. Is the product going to be there, or is it one of these, right? Is it accurate? When I ordered 29055, I get 29055. And I'm in many of these chat groups that the framers have created, not because of anything else, but I want to know their pain. And, you know, once in a while I comment, but really I'm there to listen. I'm there to listen. What is their pain? And one customer said, you know, how is it that I order 9 feet from a company and I get 18 feet? And I'm like, oh, and I scroll down, make sure it's not Roma, not Roma, not, and I'm like, yes, right? But that's pain. Or why is it, the yellow turned purple? Or, and I'm so sensitive to that. But they want transparency. Hey, if we screwed up, we screwed up. How are we going to fix it? Because no one wants a blame game. They want confidence. And again, they want stability. And I think in times of today, our industry is going through its own kind of metamorphosis. There's things changing even our market. There's an online presence that has changed the reality of everyone's buying habits, not just our industry, everywhere. It's kind of like when the VCR was in and then streaming started. Nothing wrong with the VCR, but now people are streaming. It's just easy. So lastly, they want innovation. Now, they don't come out and say, I want innovation. No, they don't. They say it like this, save me time. How many people use Amazon and anything else because deep down, it saves them time? Of course. Just ask my wife. Almost every day. Automation. They don't say, Tony, we want automation. No, they want no friction. They want self-service. Mel, bring me back one. Mel, bring me back. Thank you. So they want, where was I? Let me just go there. Yeah. It's the beauty of life, right? It's okay. At least they know it's not AI. So I'm real. This is real. All right. They want flexibility. What does flexibility mean? Well, I want to be able to order from a different DC because I could get it faster. And I'm willing to pay a little extra to get it faster. Roma, why don't you give me that opportunity? Well, it's coming. They want ease. How do I create? How does Amazon create a remarkable experience that you don't call them? Yet we all order from them. Yet we never call them. And there's always one, well, I called them last week. I get it. But out of 100 people, there's one, right? And how do you make it efficient? Like, I want to order this. 1, 2, 3, finished. And listen, whether you like it or not, Amazon set the bar. By the way, they set the bar everywhere, just not online. I don't know if you've ever, been to a remote, traveling, and you're checking in. Luke, you just checked into the hotel. Hotel check-ins, they need to disrupt the crap out of that. I don't know why, but I booked it 6 months earlier. I gave you money. I gave you everything. You know I'm coming. You asked me 17 times, am I coming? You sent me 17 emails saying if you want a drink, like everything. But yet when I get there, there's a lineup and I'm waiting and I'm like, what? And they're clicking, click, 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 click. What are you clicking? Just gave me the key. I am exhausted. Luke, what time did you get in last night? 1:30 a.m. Now, it's easy for us. We're here, for the travelers that go and they check in at like 10 a.m. Yeah. Now when it's 1:30 and you've had, I don't know, how long was the leg? 5 hours, and it was delayed how long? Okay, that was with the delay? 5 hours with the delay, and he's texting me, dude, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Emoji, 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 pray, 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 right? Like, and then you get to this hotel, it's 1:30 in the morning, and they're like, oh, just give me 1 second. And then, I don't know, they're in La La Land, and then they're click, 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 click. Well, what are you clicking? How do we remove that friction? That's what we're doing. Welcome to All Hands Meeting 45. I want to talk really at depth of the things we're doing, not the things we did, and that's really great, but where are we going, what are we doing, and how it's going to transform things. The first one is our ERP system. Now, I wrote there, this is not an upgrade. It's not, when your phone says, hey, you have an upgrade, and you press it, and you put it on the dock, and you wake up tomorrow morning, and it's upgraded? Yeah, it's not that. This is, we're going to rip the guts out of everything that you guys did in the last 17 years. We're going to yank them, we're going to throw them there, and we're going to get this new one, and we're going to put it in, and we're going to hope and pray, we're not, but we're going to hope and pray that every wire, 13 billion wires, are perfect. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So when you see Ross and Teresa and Michael and Luke and Katie and my dad's the best, so many meetings. Yeah, because there's 13 billion wires. And we got to make sure every wire, because guess what? If one wire's out, what's going to happen? No, but what's going to happen for our customers? Panic, friction, criticism. But that's par for the course. So this is not an upgrade. This is a transformation. Thank you, Anastasia. Thanks, everybody else. We call it Project Elevate. Why? Because we're elevating the game. It will look dramatically different, feel dramatically different for everybody, internal and external. I never said in that it's going to be perfect. So it's on recording so that we can play it back in November. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be really great because the enemy of perfect, the enemy of done is perfection. Don't ever strive for perfect, you'll never get done. Ever. So I'm trying to, I feel like a dad with 20 kids, and everybody's like, well, intercompany, and then, but this, and I'm like, all right, let's just, but I got to tell you, they've been remarkable. It's a 24-month project. We've been doing this for 24 months. 2 years. Well, here's Alex. He's been our PM for 2 years. I hired him for 12 months. It's 2 years. Here's what he has to say.
Okay, so listen. Anyone who tells you that ERP implementations are easy is straight up lying to you. At 180, we're so proud that our clients trust us to get them live, and not just live, but live successfully. Okay, that doesn't happen without the entire support of our client. I've been so impressed with the commitment that Roma has put towards this project, Roma's ability to think outside the box, create test scenarios, build in the use cases and edge cases that are required for us to move through this testing stage successfully. Okay, the reality is that Epicor, who has multi-billion-dollar manufacturers running on their platform, doesn't have the same functionality that Roma has built out and automated those Epicor processes. So the automation that we're building inside of the platform is critical not only to your business, but also for the overall roadmap of where Roma is expected to be in the next few years. Epicor has AI that's being built in, okay, and it's going to be available to end users very soon. Things like creating reports, dashboards, BPMs, integration layers, data migration. Once we get on this platform and get live, you guys are going to really see the power of what Epicor can do for you individually and Roma as a group. So I'm very confident under Tony's leadership, we're going to get there. We're in the final stretch, and I look forward to celebrating with you all once we hit that switch and we go live on Epicor. Thanks so much, everyone. See you all soon.
For Alex, let's give it up for Alex. So Alex asked me to jump on stage with him at one of the conventions where they talk about ERP, and super smart dude. If he wasn't part owner, he said, if I wasn't part owner of 180 Systems, I would work with you to conquer the world. We would work together. Super great guy. Anyways, I went up on stage and he's like, Tony, it's a conservative bunch. They're, just try to be as you as possible, but just try to all right. And so I started out by saying, all right, how many people are implementing an ERP in the audience? And almost everybody said this. And I said, well, if you don't have a remarkable PM, I'm talking 9+ out of 10. And if you don't have a remarkable team, you're dead. That's how I opened, because that's the truth. And I went into it. But Alex has been remarkable. I don't think we can do this without a guy like this at the helm. His level of detail in spreadsheets and cost functions, and I said, do you do this in your house? Do you? He's like, actually, me and my wife have graphs, and I'm like, God bless your heart, dude. I love these people, but I can't be that. All right. So Project Elevate, we are in final testing. We're in the testing stage. July 6th, we're going to do some staging and prep. And folks, I need everybody tonight on their way home from work and before they, go to sleep tonight, I need prayers, folks, that we are going to go live August 3rd. We are praying. We need the manifestation. We need Jesus himself to come down and help us because we need help. Now, things are going well, depending on who you talk to. And the only reason some of them have frustration is they're really aiming for perfect. You know, underneath some of that is they're really wanting it to be perfect. And I'm like so blessed. We are blessed to have these types of people. Next is our website. So once we took out the guts of the old one and we put Epicor in, at the same time, because we're not, because we're bored, we decided to do an update, a complete, what do we call it, customer expectation, less friction, simpler decision, a buying experience that matches our product. In a nutshell, we basically carved out the whole kind of ordering process, gutted it, threw a new one in and attached another 20,000 wires to the new thing that we just did because we want a challenge, right? Why not? So, but it's incredible. Though this team is led by Dave, our CTO, who does an incredible job, but it's a plethora of human beings, everybody in marketing, tons led by Mel and the team. There's customer care that this touches. Tanya's been doing phenomenal. Lizette, I'm sure, has touched it, and a number of others. It's just been a phenomenal kind of experience. And all we're trying to do is say, how do we create an experience where they don't call? That's up here. How do we give them data they never asked for, but when they receive it, it feels great? And that, I would say, is what Amazon does at scale. So here's a kind of a sneak peek. I hate doing sneak peeks, but I want to give you a sneak peek. There's a sneak peek of the new kind of site. If you notice here, we've went away with some of the top nav bar and we put our products in there. So that's search top nav. Now, this is not everything, but the top search nav bar, that's not open right now, it'll be a big tray, will just make looking up products flawless. There is AI integrated, so we'll talk a little bit about that, in the later months. But when you sign in, you'll see hello Tony, hello John, hello Sarah, whoever that may be. But everything is right there. Your billing, your login secure. What's my password? Where's customer care? How many of those do we get? What's my password? All the time, yeah. All right, well, you're going to say, look, it's right there. Can I add people to my company because I hired on 4 people? Can I give them access to order online with permissions? Team management. Billing and payments, when they're going to be going in and pressing pow like I want it, it's going to say, boop, kind of like Amazon does. Your Visa, which one would you like? Amazon, Amex, MasterCard, you name it. And then they'll be able to update all the things you've come accustomed to on your online experience, we will have. And I could say that with confidence because I know I helped build it. So once you go in, this is your dashboard. So dashboards have changed, as has FAQs, because FAQs, so frequently asked questions, I would say are the laziest thing you can have on your website because that means someone is confused with the experience. How many times have you gone to an FAQ at Amazon? Probably not, right? Probably not. Because they've made so now you'll be able to check your orders, folks. Bingo. How many times do we get that? What stage in the manufacturing is my product? Do we get that? All the time. Well, you'll be able to see we have 4 other orders in production, 2 are in transit, and 3 have already been delivered. You'll be able to see that in real time. Let's click into that. So we went into one order. You'll be able to see it order placed. You'll see it's in production. You'll see the estimate of transit because we've been working with amazing humans to integrate all our software with also the ship couriers. So we'll be able to tell you what we estimate that transit time to be. You'll be able to see that. And then if it's delivered, obviously it's delivered. You'll also be able to do, I believe, again, I think Amazon coined this. Returning your product should be as easy as ordering it. Should it not? Right? Yeah. So we made it easy. Some people bury their return process. Well, we can't make it easy so they don't return it. Yeah, that's stupid. That's short-term thinking. Hey, if we screwed up, if we missed a mark, if we sent blue versus yellow, we own it. And so we're going to have this beautiful area where people can go in, and right there, if you see that, that's where they can upload the photos and the videos, and everything is done here. We're going to integrate AI into this that says, hey, based on X, Y, and Z, and based on the photos we see, and based on this, it will not need a human intervention at all. It will go in, it will process the order, and we will even tell you, where do you want the money refunded? Do you want it on credit, back to your credit card? In real time, in their hands. They choose the journey. So, and then we also did this really easy placing order. You're going to be able to order a number of ways within the company. We just want ordering frictionless. That's all I'm going to show you today. There's a ton more that the team is working on. It's super exciting. I hope you guys are. We're in final designs. Now, final designs for the August 3rd kind of go live. We're continuing to work with our team to develop even way after the go live. Deploy and test is July 17th. It has to coincide with Project Elevate and then with an August 3rd go live. Because at our company, we can't just do an ERP implementation. We also have to anchor on a website redo, so to speak. So operations is a big hot button that we've been working on. And you guys know we've hired on Katie, who leads up. She's our VP of operations. Been doing an excellent job out in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta and Katie. Here's what Katie has to say. Unfortunately, she can't be here. So truth be told, she did fly here for the original date of the all hands meeting, and then we changed it for some really, really good reasons. And so she would have been here live, but wasn't. But take a look at this video.
Hey Roma team, it's Katie Eichhorn, Director of Operations. Excited to be at my first all hands meeting, although I will be joining you all from remotely instead of from Woodbridge. Nonetheless, I'm excited to talk a little bit about what we've accomplished over the first 100 days that I've been with the organization, some key metrics that we've been driving, and some upcoming new and exciting things that we have going on for the operations team. So let me get started first off with the first 100 days. So a couple key things I think that have really been instrumental in some of our successes during my first 100 days. One main thing being I really immersed myself into the art shop, so really became a part of the team, probably bothered people more than they wanted to be bothered, but ultimately really enjoyed being hands-on. That's a big portion of my leadership style. I love being hands-on, I love learning, and so the team here in Atlanta really gave me the opportunity to do that. So just to talk about some of the things that we did accomplish as a group. We reorganized the art shop. We don't really have much real estate that we're working with right now, but nonetheless, we were able to really lay it out in a flow that made sense with the space that we had. We reorganized the workflow all the way from the printers to the cutter to the MHP, all the way up to staging it for assembly. That was critical. I think it allows us to be a little bit more mindful in how we're organizing and staging for the next process. It helps us to identify missing parts before we realize that it's missing. And so I think all in all, it's been a pretty good success there. We also did add a kitting role into the art shop here in Atlanta. And what that does is really to help the team be successful from staging from printing and cutting to staging for the assembly table. So people aren't walking around, we're reducing waste, and that's really been a good role for us. That role also plays as kind of an in-between between printing and shipping, which is nice for us to have, especially on days where we hit very high volumes. This has also been a lesson learned that we've also put into play in LA as well to kind of help to accommodate higher volume days. So that's been really nice. Number two, one awesome thing I think collectively between sales, customer care, and operations that we have accomplished together is reducing shipping costs for our partners. What a huge win that has been for us. We can see it from the costing perspective when we're receiving quotes in from different brokers, but essentially what we did was we redefined how we are shipping LTL. In some cases, we've seen almost a 50% reduction in cost. And it's really forcing us to go out into the market, meet new vendors, partner with new people, and really better serving our partners as well. Number three, so stabilizing non-stock consumables. We identified this pretty early on during my time here at Roma that there was an opportunity to improve our inventory control on our non-stock consumables. So that was items for the art shop and for our fulfillment customers. Marianne did a really nice job of leading the charge on this. She put in inventory control processes, so a regular cadence for cycle counts within the art shop and our fulfillment areas, dug into forecasting with other members of the supply chain team, sales, and as well as the art shop teams on site to really get a good idea of what was moving and what was expected to move and what we were seeing on site. She also was able to find new vendors that were more cost effective for us. And going out to the market and looking into that. So ultimately reducing costs, which is a great overall project. We're still continuing to check and adjust and fine tune, but overall a really big success, and we're seeing a lot more stability in our consumables on sites. 4 and 5 for me really go hand in hand. Building a team fit for operational excellence. So really redefining what our operations team looks like with the onboarding of Epicor, with new business that's coming in, with the growth that we're seeing almost on a daily basis. There's really an opportunity to further grow the operations team, become a more strategic team, adding roles in place that we have not had before, adding people to the organization that have a specific skill set that maybe we don't have or have not mastered yet to really help us take us to that next level. With saying all that is preparing for number 5, which is future growth, which feels to be right around the corner. Having this team in place to help us really grow capacity models. What do ramp up plans look like? How do we build these plans with caution but ready to deploy at any minute, and developing our employees most importantly, and redefining what roles and responsibilities look like. So really having the right person in the right role to really help us build to the future. So I'm very excited about this. This is a huge opportunity for the organization and especially for the operations team to really grow into that next level. So looking forward to it, excited for all of our new team members and excited for our current team members and what opportunities are on the horizons for them. Okay, the focus. 3 top areas that we'll focus on is standardization, optimization, and growth. From the standardization perspective, my biggest goal here is to create stability even in times that we are 4x what our normal volumes are during peak. So building a foundation of robust processes that can sustain at 100 units a day to all the way to 1,000 units a day is really important to me, and focusing on the why we're doing things and how do we optimize that. So rolling into optimization, really my goal is to build an operation team that is not afraid to ask why and think outside the box. We may have always done it like this, X, Y, and Z, but let's think about something completely off the wall and let's try it out. The worst that we can do is fail and learn from our failures and move on, check and adjust and continue and push forward. But the big question that we're served quite frequently is how do we do more with what we have? And I want us to continue to look at that as not as a pain point, but really as a challenge for us as an organization. There's going to be times that we see crazy volumes and there'll be times that we see a very normalized volume. So how do we do more with what we have? And then how do we create better processes around that to be able to scale and quickly? So for the last portion of this is growth. So growth is not just defined as business growth in my mind, but it's really departmental growth and employee growth. Leveraging people's skill sets, as I mentioned before, and building out this operational excellence team. How do we leverage people's skill sets and continue to cross-train across the organization to level up people's skill sets, challenge them, maybe identify some untapped talent that we haven't seen before, but really helping us to continue to drive change. For results for 2026, so 3 key metrics I want to focus in on right now is our on-time delivery, which we're a little bit behind at 97%, so 1% behind goal. Order accuracy at 1.3%, so we are below our targeted goal at 1.6. And then cost from a freight percentage of revenue. So our goal is 10% and we're at 9.5%. I think it's important to note that, while we are in accordance to our scorecard in some areas, there are some further refinement and some opportunity for additional savings, such as, our continuing to look into, what do our shipment costs look like, our order accuracies, especially for our print-on-demand partners, and continuing to dive into there. Ultimately, so far this year, great results in accordance to the scorecard, and I want to continue to celebrate our wins and then create actions around some of our shortcomings. So nice job, team. prepping for Q4 and wrapping up my portion of the all hands presentation. So Q4 is coming quickly around the corner, and there's a lot of preparations to be done still for Q4 and planning for peak season. And so it's a very exciting time, but it's going to be very busy for all of us. So capacity planning, really understanding what our capacity is in each department, as well as what headcount is needed to service at a normal volume and at peak, and really having set hours planned so we can plan accordingly so there's no surprises. Inventory, so focusing on inventory, so right inventory at the right place at the right time is very important as we discuss molding, non-stock, and consumable items that we have across the board. Refining print-on-demand metrics, and fulfillment metrics as well. Since this is a growing portion of our business, I think it's important that we really have some metrics set aside that are clear from day to day. And how do we visualize that throughout the shops? And how do we learn from some of our stumbles? So there's going to be a point in which, errors happen, quality issues happen, but how do we learn from that and how do we pivot faster? So if we have an issue in Woodbridge, how does Atlanta know about it? If Atlanta has a huge breakdown in processes, how do we share that with the group, and not as a, hey, look what we messed up, but hey, learn from these mistakes and let's keep it moving forward. And then a clear escalation path. So not just talking about when we run out of material or a machine is down, but really safety. How do we react when we have an issue? Do we have a critical person missing? Who steps in? How do we help? Who is the main point of contact, and really standardizing what that looks like. And then just to wrap it up, so this is still in process, but I thought important to show as we've received some feedback from some lesson learned meetings that we've started for peak, is really just seeing like what does winning look like, as I stated before, for our print on demand and fulfillment customers. So having a clear outline of what the delivery expectation is, and that could drill all the way down to like what is our expected output, wrapping back with capacity, our quality targets at 1.5 or lower each week, each day, each quarter, and understanding lessons learned from areas that, how do we get quality issues more visible out in the network, or, how do we share the lessons learned from that perspective, and then inventory accuracy too for consumables. So that's still on the TBD side. So we'll work on that a little bit more and be presenting that out to the teams before Q4 starts. Thank you for everybody's time today. I really appreciate it. Please reach out to me with any questions that you might have. Thanks.
All right, let's give it up for Katie, guys. And I know that may seem like a lot, but there's a lot going on, and that was specific and strategic. We want you to see the nuances and the little details that go in between, everything from on-time delivery to consumables to capacity models and everything in between. So I think, Katie, you've been doing a great job. I know you're surrounded by also really, really great people in Atlanta and abroad, whether it's LA or New Jersey and Toronto, and we're rooting for you. So any support you need, we're here for you. The next portion is very important. It marks a real milestone in our company. We're not building for where we're going, but I think for us, we're really carving out what do the next 18 to 24 months look like, because that's really where I am. I think companies that have venture-backed money or that are a corporation have to do quarter by quarter. The beauty of what we're doing is we're looking way out there. We're looking 18 months out there, 24 months, 36 months out there. Obviously, we're not doing things for 36 months, but certainly doing things for 24 months. And Atlanta has been growing steadily over the last, I don't know how many years, and we finally pulled the trigger and purchased a new building. That's a big, it's a big endeavor on our part. And it's not, how would I say this? This is certainly a huge chapter, a huge risk, but I feel that it's a calculated risk, and I know it's the right decision, and it's only because we got great people that I know that can support this. So I want to give you guys a round of applause. Maybe you want to give yourselves a round of applause. This is a brand new building. It's just remarkable. It's 100,000 square feet, about 26 doors, brand spanking new. It came on the market. People say there's flukes in life. I don't believe that. I think God's guiding. And, he put this in our path, and we've been going back and forth. And so we secured this building. We'll be moving in shortly. That's a real photo of the building. It is just remarkable. It's rectangular in shape, exactly what we need. This is where the offices will be. So Atlanta will be coming through those offices. And, I'm sure you'll be seeing videos of it in the next all hands meeting, but it's just remarkable. They just painted the lines on the floor, like it's all coming to life. But when you see it from afar and you see just the size and scope of it, it's pretty incredible. But it also feels like there's more on your shoulders, so to speak, to make sure we can maintain it. And I just feel so strong, like, whether it's my dad or whoever else, I said, I just feel so strong into what we're doing that, I know we're being guided to this, and this is the right move for us. And this is kind of the glory shot. I'm not sure if it's AI, but beautiful shot of the building. You could see as you come in. We haven't put a logo in yet because we haven't ordered it. It's on order. We haven't put it up yet, but you'll see more things to come. Now, we also hired a PM there, a project manager, to manage everything. And, when I tell you it takes a village, it takes a village. And you can't, if you think you're going to do things on your own, you're out to lunch. And in fact, anything that's really worth doing is done with a group of people cheering you on. And John Hightower, epic last name, Johnny's a remarkable guy. He's our feet on the ground, boots on the ground, so to speak. He's working in tandem with Katie and Nathan and a lot of the folks in Atlanta. He's also going to vendors. He's negotiating rates on our behalf, like just an incredible guy. So I said, Johnny, I need you to go to Atlanta. I need you to go on the premises. I need you to tell people what you're doing. So he did. And he didn't tell me it was a torrential downpour. The guy's a gem of a human being. So the truth is, he sends me this video, and I loved it. And I'm like, dude, you missed your calling. But it's raining. He's like, yeah, well, that's the day. I said, listen, you got to go back today and do it. And then there was silence, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm just kidding. The rain is epic. So he's like, oh, thanks so much. So I think you're going to love this video. Take a look.
Greetings, Roma Moulding from the great and a little bit rainy city of Oakwood, just a little bit north of Atlanta in the great state of Georgia. Welcome to your new home. Behind me, I've got 4180 McBrayer Road. My partner, Andy, and I have been working along with Tony, with Katie, with Michael, with Lewis, past several months on bringing about the reality of this space for you guys. We're going to go take a look at it. This is a state-of-the-art, tilt-up, brand new, shiny, just absolutely gorgeous building. And I have the distinct honor of ushering you guys inside for a little tour. So why don't you come on with me, grab your umbrella so you don't get wet. We're going to go have a look. All right, so as we approach the building here, this is the back. Building 100 specifically is your new location. As you can see, it's got a robust offering of 25 dock doors. You've got 2 drive-ins. We're going to have 3 dock levelers. It's a very good looking building, matches the colors of Roma, your whole gray and black and white color scheme, very attractive. We're going to go in through the back entrance, and I'm going to have you take a look around inside. A lot going on, active construction site. Got my PPE on today. Let's go have a look. All right, so here we go. As we enter the building, I'm entering the back side. Along this column line right here, all of this area here is going to be the new art shop. In the back, you can see, or actually what is really technically the front of the building, is going to be the office area located over here. Just beyond that is a nice break room, about 1,200 square foot worth of break room. We're gonna have lots of tables in there, refrigerators for lunches, gotta have some televisions for everybody to sit down and take a break while they're eating. The whole building is approximately 94,000 square feet. Huge area, nice big layout, big column spaces, give you guys plenty of room to do all your work. This area kind of backing up from the break room. This area between this column line here and spanning these 2 column lines, this is going to be where your saws are going to be. This is going to be your production area. This is going to be your frame shop all through here. Beyond this area is going to be for your A-frame storage, for your pick bins. Down at the far end is where we're going to have our high density storage. We're going to have our high density racks going all the way up to this high 32-foot deck. You can see here's the electricians. They're running a lot of new lights for you guys in this space. We're gonna have a very, very well lit space. As I pass by, these gentlemen over here are installing one of the new dock levelers. They've just cut out the concrete. They're putting in the rebar, getting ready to pour in place that new dock leveling equipment for you. As I spin around this area down here, again, we're looking toward the art shop. This is going to be your shipping and receiving here, where all of your beautiful product gets shipped out to all your customers. There's going to be a nice insulated curtain that holds all the climatization inside that art shop area, make it nice and comfortable for the work area. We're going to have large fans called high velocity fans. They output a lot of air out through this area here. Keep everybody cool, keep that air moving nice and fresh throughout the space. I'm gonna walk around through here to the break room now. As you can see as we go, got some really nice, smooth, brand new concrete floors here. This is super smooth. We're even gonna come in. All of these joints are gonna get filled, so it's super smooth as you drive the forklift through here, as you transition the product in and out of the space. You can see the sound and thermal insulation in the walls here. It's going to keep this break room area nice and comfortable for you guys. The area I'm walking through now will not ultimately be a door. Your doorway is going to be right over here, going out to the shop area. Over here where you can see all the plumbing, this is on one side of the wall is going to be all of the restrooms, men's and women's restroom. We're going to have on the break room side here, we're going to have a nice long countertop with a sink. We're going to have 2 big refrigerators in here. This is where we'll have some nice tables and chairs out here. We're going to have a television up on the wall there to watch during break time. This will be the door where employees can enter. The teammates enter. We're going to have a time clock up on the wall right over here. This area right through here is going to be where the office is. It's going to be a well-lit, nice and spacious office. To my left here as we walk in through this opening, this is going to be where you have a large boardroom, a big conference room, a table there where you can have big meetings, meet with customers, meet internally. We're going to have a television up on the wall. We're going to have state-of-the-art video conferencing capabilities right there. You guys can get together with all the other offices around the United States and Canada, around the world. Here's all the offices. It's going to be a nice IT closet. We're going to have state-of-the-art equipment going in here. Nice connectivity for all your operations and communication with everybody around the world. We've got a high-volume static line coming in, fiber optics, going to provide the internet for the whole facility. Whole entire facility is going to have Wi-Fi connection. We're going to run internet access points all throughout the entire facility. It's going to be great. All right, everybody, the tour's over. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a real honor today just partnering with you to show you this new space. Working with the whole team there has been a blast. I consider you guys friends now, and man, I am looking forward to seeing you guys just hit the market, take it by storm, just grow and push that beautiful product out there. Here's to Roma. Go Roma.
Yeah, so I feel like if you want to join, if you want to follow John Hightower on Instagram or YouTube, you can. Epic. Johnny's a great guy. As you can see, we're excited about the place. There's a lot of moving parts. We'll be flying down a few times just to make sure everything is perfect. But yeah, just really excited about what that future holds specifically in Atlanta. And beyond that, like we are growing. We're growing because we're challenging things. We're growing because we're onboarding great people. We're growing because we're not sitting still. We're growing because we're not okay with okay. And these are some of the things we're doing. Now, there's more that I want to talk about. And to help me do that, I want to bring up Luke Smith, who's our VP of Sales. Let's give it up for Luke, folks. And Luke will talk a little bit about the 3 areas of our business, whether it's custom framing, print on demand, high volume molding sales, and kind of everything in between. Luke, you were in Dallas for the last, few days. He's like, I'm not missing all hands meeting. I'm flying down. I don't care if I get in at 2:30 in the morning. What was 1:30? 1:30 in the morning. He's like, I'm exhausted, but I'm making this happen. And so I want to give the stage to Luke. Luke, you've been a great friend. You know, I think this is your first All Hands live?
I think it's the second.
Second, okay. Luke, just for the people that just, you know, we just met, but Luke and I met. Luke was a competitor, so to speak. Not really, but we met at a customer, and I'm like, I really like this guy. We kept in touch, and he was a gentleman then. He's a gentleman now. Hasn't changed a bit. And Luke, working with you has just been phenomenal. I love your zest for life. Like, if you haven't had a moment to sit with Luke, I'm not just building him up. Luke's a great guy. I love your tenacity, your will, like how you challenge conventional wisdom, how sometimes you can even, you know, pull me back off the ledge. I ain't perfect, and it takes a village. But yeah, I really appreciate you, dude. You know, he's a new dad. He's a beautiful little girl. Yeah, let's give it up. Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, can't say enough good things, but I want to give you the floor. So let's give it up for Luke, folks.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you, Tony. And yeah, this is my second all-hands meeting here live. It's good to be here, and I was noticing 45. That's impressive. That's a lot of history there, and I really enjoyed at the beginning seeing the first several and see how far we've come. Really impressive. I'm going to be nowhere as interesting as John, by the way. John's video was amazing. I should have rehearsed a bunch. I got my notes here because this morning when I left the hotel, I said, all right, have a good night to the front desk. And then when I walked out the door, I said, why did I say that? It's like first thing in the morning, so that's not a good sign. But I'm a little tired, but I'm happy to be here. And I am honored to serve as your VP of Sales. I'm very thankful for the opportunity from Tony, very thankful for the Roma team. I want to shout out Tanya Santana and Jennifer Hines, who have led with talent and continue to lead with talent in their respective categories. And I'm just thrilled for the opportunity to try to partner with them more and help not change anything that's working, but just add additional support and pour more fuel on the fire, so to speak. I think there's a lot of room to grow. And I want to tell one quick little story that kind of defined my sales career. I started, like Tony said, I was at a competitor, but even before that, I started I was my own manufacturer. So I made moldings for the picture frame industry, very small company, and I thought that sales was all about just making cool stuff and then go trying to get people to buy it. And in a sense, it's kind of true, but where I actually made a leap in my career was when I realized that it's less, I was making myself the hero. I'm not the hero, the customer's the hero. And my first big break came when I went to go see a big customer in Brooklyn, New York, and I brought all my samples, everything that I thought he should buy from me. At the end of the meeting, he's like, yeah, I can't sell any of this. None of this is gonna work on Amazon. He's like, I sell 30,000 feet a month, per SKU. If it's the simple black molding, I can sell 200,000 feet a month. He's like, all your stuff is unique and cool. He's like, it's not for me. I said, what would you buy? And he gave me a list of what he would buy if you can hit these price points, make it look like this. I left that meeting just by being curious with an entire list of items where I could build an entire business around. And it changed the way that I think, because now instead of saying, all right, I'm gonna go meet this customer and sell him this thing, I say, who can I meet and what questions can I ask? How can I be curious about what he wants and what his business is about? And then I can be creative to try and support him with solutions. And so when we think about the direction that Roma is going, historically we've been custom framing, right? Best in the world. 40 years ago, John Guerrieri realized nobody was doing high-end Italian frames in the US or in Canada, right? He created that market and everybody has kind of followed suit. So we've been known for quality for custom framing, but as the market changed, we saw there's people that are doing volume online with e-commerce. They may need molding at a volume and a price point that's different than the historical Roma line. And so that's where Roma Enterprise Molding was born. And that's my world, where I came from, servicing the high volume guys. And we have an excellent product line that hits price points and quality for that market. And then print on demand as well is another area that's come through by talking to customers, asking customers, what are you buying and what do you wish you could buy better? And so when we think about where we're going, we talk about being in the middle, we talk about change. What I get excited about is now, as we think of it as a sales team, is we have an arsenal of 3 categories, very strong categories, that give us the ability to service customers in a way with tools well beyond anything that Roma has ever had in history. And so that's the change that we're excited about and we're leaning into. But the things that don't change is the things that are most important. Quality, very important. Responsiveness to customers, communication. All of those things we want to continue, we want to work to get better at and continue to, because at the end of the day, when you change and you add layers of complexity, challenges come alongside that. And so my commitment to you is, while we're in those middle phases of introducing these new product lines, growing as a company, adding a new building, especially over the next 30 days, I wanted to get up here with this big plan. Oh, here's all my genius ideas, right? I'm not really much of a genius. I'm actually kind of dumb. I just ask a bunch of questions. I'm really annoying because I ask a lot of questions. That's what my wife tells me anyway. But what I want to do over the next 30 days, I want to dive deep. I want to learn from, especially on the categories that I don't come from as much, which is custom framing, and then Jen's side of the business as well with print on demand. I want to learn, I want to ask a ton of questions, I want to ask why and what if, and I want to find those areas being field first, what customers are saying, if you can do this, I will buy more, and then figure out how to execute on those things. I think we have a strong team. I know Katie, I've loved working with her in the Atlanta team. The other guys there, Nathan, Jacques, Wilfredo, so many other people, everybody that I meet there. I think that together we have an ops team that's eager to grow, and I'm eager to bring that insight from what the customer is wanting and what the customer is asking and find a way to help integrate that with operations and grow together. I believe the sky's the limit. I think anything is possible, and there's nobody else that I'd rather do it with than the Roma team. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Tony, for putting this on. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Luke. Thank you. I got it here. Thank you, Luke. Luke's one of the most humble guys I know as well. And he does ask a lot of questions. But that's so good. I think a curious mind is so amazing. Because he really peels back that onion. Well, why do we do this? Well, we do this because of this. Well, but why do we do that? Well, we do this like this. And then why do we do? And I'm like, all right, you get one more why. Okay, you get like 5 whys every 10 minutes. But the truth is, it's been remarkable working with you. I'm proud to have you on the team, and I know we're going to do some amazing things together. So as Luke talked about, the print-on-demand space continues to grow for us. We have 3 strategic locations that give us an incredible advantage over many print-on-demand suppliers. I didn't know what POD stood for 8, 9, 10 years ago, and today we're one great player amongst others. We're not the top of the top of the top, but we certainly want to be top 3 in the country when it comes to print-on-demand, and this is just the beginning. And when we talk about print on demand, you're seeing printers roll in, you're seeing teams of color experts kind of sprinkle in. We have a great color expert team. We have great operators. You mentioned Jacques. We have Shelly in LA. Shout out to Shelly and Anthony out there. And there's others I know. Jess here in Toronto. And the whole team. Like we have remarkable people. They're wizards in their own right. But when I anytime I go to any of the facilities and see some of that, just warms my heart. Again, as Luke stated, we are ebbing and flowing. We are changing. We are not changing at the cost of some of our principles, but we're certainly changing because the world's changing and the demands of our customers are changing. So on that note, design continues to be one of those pillars that we've always rested on. Even before I even knew what a picture frame was, my dad was always infatuated with how do we bring the utmost best quality, best design product. And that's been ingrained in me since day one. I wanted to bring back Burlwood. We launched Burlwood late last year. Burlwood collection has done really, really well, like remarkably well. It has 3 different colors. We do a few different shapes. It is super durable, antimicrobial, and just so many great features. And it's an unconventional burl because not a natural organic looking burl. It's not, but it has its uses and it's doing really phenomenally well. Just so you remember, it's still on always our premium finger joint pine, 3 unique profiles, and always and consistently made in Italy. We shipped over 8,000 samples of these products. That's a lot of samples. We've sold over 30,000 feet, and it's only been about 150 days on the market. So if you're a partner watching this, I would certainly say, it's advantageous to us, but you're missing out if you don't at least call your BPS and book an appointment and or call customer care and get yourself some samples. They are phenomenal. But now I want to talk about some of our new products. So we're launching one new amazing collection right now. It's called Palm Beach. It is a collection that runs itself right in the middle of Romino. We think you're going to love this video. Take a look. So that's our Ramino collection, beautiful collection. It is a vinyl wrapped product. It's proprietary in such that we use the highest of grade materials for this. It's used for certainly the custom framing industry and high volume, and the pricing is phenomenal. It's on finger jointed pine. I think I should do this. You'll see, and we've also introduced an incredible gold. And what I love about these is they are ultra consistent, ultra durable, antimicrobial. Like they are, you order 10 feet, you get 10 feet. Like it is remarkable product. Palm Beach will be made available very, very soon. It's on premium finger joint pine, 2 unique profiles. So we're doing the floater. We've had huge calls for floater. And one thing we've identified is in the print-on-demand space or high-volume space, everybody has a black, a white, a natural, maybe a wood, and a silver and gold, but no one's doing color. And so we hope that, like our hopes is that we hit the market early. Again, crazy, the early guys. We get this product in the right hands, and we just believe this is going to fly. Yeah, so you can pre-order now. So if you are watching live, you could hit the QR code and you could pre-order all your samples, and they will be coming very, very shortly. Cool. Thoughts, everybody? Good? Amazing. All right. At this point, I want to pass the mic on to our culture and talent leader, Anastasia. You know, you can do all these great initiatives, but it requires great people. And I always have my pulse on every survey we do, every leadership survey, because without great people, I keep saying, and I'll say it on the mountaintop, you have nothing. And so we're obsessed about the internal employee experience. And so to help talk about that, let's welcome Anastasia to the stage.
Thank you so much, Tony, for that intro. It's great to be here for another All Hands. How's everyone doing? Enjoying the show so far? Well, there's more to come. So to start things off, I want to talk about, the Roma culture. Something that is very special to us, something that is very unique, and it sets us apart from all the other companies out there. And one of my main jobs as a culture and talent leader is to make sure that the culture is nurtured and that it's felt throughout the whole entire company. And one of the ways that we do this is with our core value cards. And these core value cards, they represent our 10 family core values. And what we do with these, as many of you already know, we use them to show appreciation and gratitude for one another who live in the values. So twice a year, we dedicate to bringing awareness and celebrating these core values. And we had a core value awareness week just a couple months ago, March 23rd, 27th, and here's a little video for you guys.
Core value cards to me are a moment of appreciation. I find that a lot of times when we're deep in our work, we don't always have a chance to connect with everyone. So by writing a little card and placing it on someone's desk, make them feel seen and heard. And I've also had that experience where I feel seen and heard.
Core value cards, what do they mean to me? A sign of appreciation, a sign of your coworkers giving you gratitude, letting you know what you mean to them, what contribution you've made both to the company and to them in assisting them in what they do day to day. It's a great way to, again, show your gratitude to each of your coworkers.
Yeah, the core value card means to me is recognizing the value together, supporting other people.
A great opportunity to show some love and gratitude to the team here in New Jersey, as well as people in other DCs that you may not interact with every day. Kind of just want to let them know that you're thinking about them, that they really wowed you in some way, or you just appreciate what they do every day for you as well, and for Roma. As much as it's great to receive one, I think it's even better just to kind of give one for sure. It feels so much better.
Core value cards to me are that little extra, that little bit special. It's like receiving a birthday card or a Christmas card in the mail. You get to the mailbox, you open it up, and it's that nice little surprise. As you can tell, I take every core value card, I save them all. They all mean the same to me. Not one is more important than the other. First one I ever received. It was from Culture. It was literally a week after I'd started here, and it was core value number 3: be different, have fun, and deliver happiness. To me, that's what we do here. It's what Roma is. It's what we're all about.
My favorite core value card is be real and live in integrity. It's about being authentic, honest, and genuine with everything we do. To me, it's the foundation for not only doing great work, but also being part of a strong and great team.
Be passionate, commit, and driven. This one, it really helped me to commit in work and then be passionate at work too.
I've had many cards. I can't really say I have a favorite, just maybe the ones that I wasn't expecting. And someone came out and said, you know what, I felt good with something you said possibly.
Thank you for being so kind, ambitious, fun, charming, beautiful, handsome, and so super muscular. From Michael and Ross. Thank you so much, guys.
For me, I like to think of myself as humble. I don't think that I always am, but I did receive that from someone at one point, and the person who sent it was very humble themselves, and so it felt great to get that from them, and just for them to recognize that in me at times as well. So core value number 7, be humble.
One of the best ones that I've received was from a person here that basically just told me, like, thank you for everything and making me a better person and helping him grow. It just touched on those real personal that he wrote something so nice.
To be positive, to start work a smile and then end up work with smile. That's it.
Core value number 8, so be creative, open-minded, and share ideas. I'll read it first and I'll let you know what it means to me. So keep pushing the boundaries, try new things, and never stop innovation. We appreciate you, from Tony. This was a moment that made me feel really seen and heard. I know that the team around us, we're all very close and we all interact with each other, but to get this little card kind of makes your day, and it definitely makes you feel appreciated for the work that you're doing. The unseen work is actually seen.
All right. Amazing, amazing. Thank you for everybody who participated in that video. So in 2025, we set a goal to deliver 3,350 core value cards, and we delivered, in 2026, we set a goal of delivering 3,350 core value cards, and we, year to date, delivered 3,257. That is a 5% variance. Just to break that down for you guys, that's 27 core value cards delivered by each person in this company so far. That is amazing. That's 27 pieces of gratitude that every single one of you guys have shown for somebody on your team. That is absolutely outstanding. And just a reminder, our awesome development team has created a portal on our website where you can deliver real core value cards in real time to anybody in the whole entire world. Okay? Our next Core Value Awareness Week is September 21st to 25th, when we will be setting a whole new goal and hoping to achieve it. Now, the next thing that we use as part of our culture here is our Roma Pulse survey. Now, this is very, very important to us. It's very important to me. I know it's very important to Tony as well. We use the feedback from this survey to become better as a company, better as a leadership team. We do go through every single piece of feedback on the survey, and we try to action as much as we possibly can. And obviously, after the all hands is complete, we will ask you again to take a moment to complete the survey. So my biggest, indicator or metric that I use from the Pulse survey is question number 13. Would you recommend Roma to your family and friends? So this is our internal Net Promoter Score. This is a result from the last Pulse survey, which was taken November of 2025. Our goal was 92%. We hit 87%. That's a 5% variance. But just to give you guys a little bit of a little kind of snapshot, the national average is 81%. So we are beating the national average here at Roma by 6%. That deserves a round of applause, guys. All right, and lastly, I do want to show a quick video from our annual Burger Smash, which took place about a month ago. It was our 11th annual one, and all the proceeds went to Roma Wish. So take a look. All right, guys, thank you so much for having me. And at this point, I would like to bring Tony back on stage.
All right, guys, let's give it up. Let's give it up for Anastasia, everyone. That was epic Burger Smash. Dave, I don't know what you're made of or what is in you, but you do a remarkable job. So moving ahead, listen, core value cards are important. Some companies talk about being good, and they do it as part of their corporate structure. Our values mean something because they're from the heart. They're not perfectly written. And in fact, the more kind of organic in nature, the more they mean something. And, when I was watching from the back and I was listening to and recounting the stories of how they're encouraging, I'll say, like, every time I get one, it's like, you got this. Or there's this feeling like someone is watching, because this world could be a lonely place. We talked about being in the middle. I'm going to encourage you guys, today, if you do nothing else, not even make one more frame, take your time and grab a core value card and give one. It could really change someone's day, week, or month, so to speak. So I can't say enough things about core values. Now, we have core value awards at our company voted by you for the team, so it's really cool. Our first award goes to Brian Harvey. Let's give it up for Brian. So, here's what you have to say.
Brian is my go-to for anything
We get some volume?
related, from quality and ERP systems to challenges on the floor. He's always willing to jump in, talk things through, and offer thoughtful input. What stands out most is his openness, transparency, and willingness to share ideas. He doesn't just identify issues, he brings solutions. I appreciate the consistency, collaboration, and positive mindset he brings every day. Thanks for everything, Brian.
Let's give it up for Brian. Now, because we're constantly evolving, we have a video of Brian. We called him and we told him he's going to be the award winner. And we just thought it would make it more rich if you hear from that person, because we're not all here, right? We're in different countries and different states and stuff like that. Here's what Brian had to say about getting this award.
Hi everyone, hope you're all enjoying All Hands 45. Thank you again for the kind words and recognition. I've actually been with Roma for almost 12 years, and this is my first core value award. So I am truly grateful and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Let's give it up for Brian, everybody. So it's interesting how people know I've been here 12 years and this is my first award. Like, 12 years of just grinding and hard work and effort. And Brian, I'm so proud of you, my man. You lead such a great team out there in New Jersey, and I love you. So next core value award goes to, give it up for Tanya, everybody. Here's what you guys said.
Tanya is always telling us just like it is so that we all feel like we are one sales team. She constantly delivers open, honest communication with her team and is always available by telephone for us when we need her. We know where we stand, the company stands, and expectations of us, which helps guide us towards the goals set before us. I appreciate her for core value number 9 that she exhibits with us.
And so this is what Tanya had to say.
Being nominated for the Core Value Award means a lot to me. It means that the effort that I put in every day is being recognized by somebody on my team. It makes me feel grateful, appreciated, and inspired to keep doing my best. So to whoever nominated me, thank you so much. It's an incredible honor.
Let's give it up for Tanya, everybody. You know, another big worthy nomination. So Tanya, congratulations. And last but certainly not least is the next Core Value Award winner. It is Lizette. All right. Here's what you guys said.
A huge thank you to Lizette for the positive impact she's had on CRP4. What really stands out is her ability to see shortcomings and challenges as opportunities. That kind of mindset makes a huge difference, not just in solving problems, but in how the whole team approaches them. It's a great leadership trait and one that helps move things forward in a constructive, productive way.
And here's what Lizette said.
Receiving a Core Value Award honestly makes me feel really special. It means someone noticed the quiet work, the kind of work you do because it's right, not because somebody's watching. And that's what core values look like in real life. And to be recognized for that, it's an amazing feeling. So, thank you.
Give it up for everybody, folks. Well done, Lizette. Well done. At this point, we're winding down this all hands meeting 45, and we talked about a lot of things like progress. We talked about standing on the pillars that we already established, like quality and quality and focus and determination and discipline. We talked a lot about change and how we have to adapt, and I think that's very important. And this part of the all hands meeting really touches my heart. You guys know that, because I think like that we're able to do this, like do life like this, like that we actually like one another in our company. Like there's no one I dislike, and I hope there's no one you dislike. You know, companies have that challenges within their company. I think there's a lot of gossip in companies, and I like to believe that our company's different, and that we get this opportunity to do some of the best work of our life together, I think is a blessing. And as a matter of fact, I think that we're able to be successful at what we do and then give a little portion of that back to make the world, because at times the world could be dark and it could be cloudy and feel like no one cares, but make it a little brighter. And I think that in itself is a blessing. Roma Wish was started back, I think we'll get to it. I think it's been 15 years. We were giving back to like local hospitals, and that was all great. And the genesis of Roma Wish has just been great. We've donated volunteered hours at about 4,500 hours collectively as a company. We've had over 259 team members donate their time. We've had 25 organizations supported. It's been 15 years, as I stated, that we've been starting this, and we've donated over $50,000 to various different charities, organizations, mission work around the countries. And we've supported, like literally, our money has supported or touched the lives of people in 5 countries. Now, you might from time to time see me wear swag from time to time. Some people think I don't own anything else but our swag, and truth is I don't. It's only when I get fancy, so to speak. But Now, people see these t-shirts and they say, it's cool and I want to get one, but I'm not sure they know the meaning of this, like why we do merch and swag. It's so that we can make a difference in the world. And sometimes this small little t-shirt, and you wear it and you feel part of a club, a group, because we all need to belong to something, and it means something, right? Like every time we wear, whether it's We Are Makers or Move, Inspire, and Wow, thank you for your donation, or 1985 where it started, it means something, but it also makes an impact around the world. And this is sometimes overlooked. So when you're buying a mug, and I gotta say, our sales team is one of the most generous groups ever. They're buying merch and swag and sending it to our customers on their own accord. They don't get the accolades, but I thank you, and you know who you are, because I know you're doing it. But it's just phenomenal, right? Because Roma Wish just looks like a t-shirt, but we get to do stuff like this. I remember this with Lloyd. We were working in a really tough area. The guy lost his house. And we're in orientation there, and there's Eric. It's beautiful. Bowery mission was amazing. The Bowery mission feeds 3,000 people a day. That's their only food sometimes. And there we are, cooking and serving, and amazing. Joanne, Tanya, scrubbing floors. I should show this to my wife. Like I could scrub a floor with Javax any day. This was a school that was kind of run down, and they asked for some support. Painting a house because the elderly couple just couldn't get to the second floor. Adrian, I think we were in Beards Fork, and she's like, Tony, I gotta make you fried chicken. And I'm like, all right, and you make a mean fried chicken, but serving with you was an honor, and a few others. Cleaning up, just giving. This is a tough area in Detroit. That's Paul, our graphic designer at the time, walking one of the little kids to school. That's us playing with them. By the way, they don't know they're living in it, so it's not like we're going to save them, because here's the truth. The truth is we get way more than we give. Way more than we give. There's Tanya, working with the children there. I think this was also Detroit. Amazing, Tanya again. Lloyd, always fun. I still stay in touch with Lloyd. He's one of our customers, and great human, big heart, beautiful human. This is a gentleman's house that I was telling you that got flooded. That's Uncle John. We named him Uncle John. He was 80 at the time. Don't know if he's still alive, but I know that we made an impact. He wanted everything Roma. If we had underwear, we'd give it to him. Like, the guy was loving it. That's us putting up our banner, because we stay in various different places. Sometimes we stay in group homes, whatever it was. But these are like incredible memories. Right? And when you look at these photos, it's not CEO and VP of sales or whoever. It's just people helping people. We got to do that more. Look at that photo. You guys know I got 32 Thanksgivings left, because I live my life backwards. But it is a reality, right? That's if God gives me 80. But if he doesn't, I'm still okay. It's photos like this you're going to remember when you're either in the hospital or breathing your last breath. You're not going to remember how many chops you did, but you're going to remember the people you served with. Because you can make a living by what you get, but you can't make a life but you can make a life by what you give. This is not just a t-shirt. there's an opportunity to make a difference. Albeit a small one. Listen, I'm not Elon Musk. I don't have, Bill Gates money. I don't, but we can make a difference. So here's 15 years of serving. Enjoy this.
No, we're from Roma Moulding.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
Where's that?
Toronto. But we're from all over the country.
Toronto, Canada?
Yeah.
Really? No wonder you looked at me crazy when I said you're from Conyers, right?
Y'all come from Toronto, Canada?
Not all of us.
Houston, Texas.
Anaheim.
Really? Listen, it don't matter. Y'all came this far to do this here. Hey, look here. That's big boy stuff, big girl stuff. That big and big, hey, that big. And I'm so grateful to have these people around us because the Salvation Army is right across the street from me. And when I tell you they help the people in this community so much, they walk and pick up paper and to meet a group of people from Canada. They come all the way from Canada and other parts of the country to just come in and pick up paper in a community. Listen, that is so overwhelming. That just put joy in my heart. And we want to thank them deep down in our heart for the work that they are doing. And we ask them to continue to do the work. In spite of, continue to do the good work that y'all doing. It really provides support and assistance that my family needs and other families that I assist and deliver to.
It helps out with me and my children because I can't buy groceries all the time, the groceries that I need, especially when it comes to the meat and the snacks, definitely the snacks because my sons want snacks all the time, especially during the summertime. It drives them crazy.
My daughter and her husband had to move from Orlando and they're living with us now, so that has definitely helped. They eat more than me and my husband. And that's helping them to save their money so they can buy their own house eventually. We're not kicking them out, but it helps. So we thank you very much.
This week, you guys are going to hear stories. Kids may say some stuff, and some of it is going to be heartbreaking. You know, the reality of our neighborhood is that we have over 50% unemployment. We have less than 30% home ownership and less than 30% car ownership. Less than 10% of third graders are at a third grade reading level. Children in low-income homes are spoken to 60% less than middle-class families, and 80% of what they hear is negative. So our kids have baggage. Our kids have stories. Our kids have pain. And they have deep sorrow, though they may not let on. They have that. And as our kids maybe open up to that, or even as they maybe open up to some really joyful things, some really exciting things, I encourage you guys, before you try to change their situation, before you try to offer correction, you just sit with them where they're at. Just try to imagine what it's like to be in their shoes. Try to imagine what it's like to experience things that they've experienced. And just feel with them this week. Just feel with them this week.
All right, let's give it up, guys. So it's 15 years of giving, kind of in a montage, and you know, if you've ever attended, it's life-changing, and if you haven't attended, you're missing out on a life-altering experience. Roma Wish Day was created by all of you. Some people couldn't take a week off from their family. I respect it for a whole host of reasons. And so we did individual missions supporting some local communities. We've helped Care One, special needs schools of Gwinnett. It's in and around the Atlanta area. We've helped Hope Through Housing Foundation and the Scott Mission here in Toronto. So far, we have a goal of 280 hours. It dwarfs the 4,500 we've already done, but we also know people have, busy lives and things like that. Our goal is really that everybody, my ultimate goal that I'm trying to reach is everybody in the company takes one day, it's a paid day, and goes serve somebody else, someone that you have no benefit in whatsoever, but giving of your time selflessly. We're at 72 so far, and we're 30% complete. I know we have some runway, but early on, we have a group of people that have already completed missions, which has been great. Let's give a round of applause to these folks. And on deck, these are the people on deck who have already signed up for delivering, service in their local communities. Let's give a round of applause to them as well. I want to acknowledge your bravery and getting outside of your comfort zone. And if you're thinking about, doing it and you're kind of on the fence, we do programs where you can partner up with somebody in the company. Say you don't want to go by yourself, but you want to go. If you speak to Anastasia, she'll partner you up with someone and you guys can go together. I'm telling you, the bonds and relationships you build with that person while serving is epic. So please, if you feel called to do this, there's no pressure. Like, you got to be called. This is a calling inside of you. You don't get an extra point. You don't get an extra dollar. You get nothing outside of giving. And when you give, you get so much in return. So these are the folks that are on deck. And if you are interested and you feel called, again, it's very important that you feel called so that your context for serving is important. This is the QR code. It's very small, I know, but you can just take a photo of this and or reach out to me, Anastasia, or anybody on the leadership team, and we would happily, secure your spot for this year and help us in our goal to reach, what was the goal, Anastasia? 280 hours. Thank you. But I got one last thing, right? Because we do, and because you guys are amazing humans, and because we have amazing human beings on our team. So, last short story, and I'm going to try to do this without shedding a tear, okay? And you guys know me already. I suck at that. But it overcomes me. Like, I'm just flooded with emotion. But we have a Roma Wish project that I think is the genesis of something new. Again, I'm okay with pressing a button and see what comes out. I'm okay with creating shirts. By the way, when we created merch, people are like, who's going to buy a t-shirt? Why are you building an ark 18 months before? Why? And I don't know how many t-shirts we've sold to date, but every time we sell something, it reinforces who we are. Not only do you look so pretty, Flo, in this beautiful t-shirt, but this t-shirt actually represents the change in the world we want to see, right? And it's proceeds of this. We make no money on this. Whatever we get, we give back, right? And I call this Roma Wish Project Philippines. So we have a large community of Filipinos, beautiful human beings. And Teresa and Philip, let's give them a round of applause, Teresa and Philip. They are in the Philippines now, watching live. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. So for anybody who is like saying, my feet hurt, or can I get up? I got to go to the bathroom. It's 1 o'clock in the morning in the Philippines on their private time, watching our all hands meeting for 2 hours. We heard that they were going back to their respective villages in the Philippines. One is Cebu, and I forget the other one. Forgive me. But and she said, we're going back, and our luggages are loaded with things that we can give the kids. I'm like, oh my God, that's like, tell me more. And she shows us photos, and she showed me her home and the village and how it was ravaged by some of the typhoons and all that stuff that, by the way, doesn't get documented. They're in a remote part of the world. And, my dad caught wind of this and said, how do we make a difference, even if it's small, to the kids there? And we took some of the t-shirt money that you guys donate. And she said, I've never traveled with this much money in my life. And the quantity is not important. It's the giving. And so she said, while I'm there, I told you this was going to happen. I got to wash this shirt after. And while we're there, we're going to, Tony, like they were crying, we're hugging, right? And she said, I'm gonna make sure this gets into the hands of the kids. Because, you know, kids, they don't know better. They're born into it. An adult on hard times, it could have happened, but a kid, they come out in it, right? And that's God's will on them, and there's a reason for that, and he'll protect them. But having said that, I'm like, okay, go make a difference, was the mission. And so she's sending me all these photos and WhatsApp, and I'm calling her, and I'm like, and she said, we want to buy these kids Jolly Bee, and it's like fried chicken, and like it's a thing in the Philippines. Like apparently it's a thing. Forgive me, and these kids never get it. It's like imagine eating McDonald's for the first time. It's like wow, right? Because they don't have money, and so we gave Teresa and Philip this with a mission: go make a difference, and this is what they did. So to Teresa and Philip and their family who are in the Philippines, I can't thank you enough for the photos and video. It's so organic in nature. I love the intensity of it. One of those houses is one of the houses that you've seen in one of the photos is one of Teresa's family home that got ravaged and put together. It kind of looks like with, I don't know, scraps and whatever the heck it may be. And we can all retell some of these stories, but the fact of the matter is that with your generosity, with you guys giving, I believe we can make the world a better place. And even if it's for a little while, purchasing a T-shirt or being part of Burger Smash isn't the burgers. We do it. It's fun and great. It's so that we can build up some equity, some funds, some revenue that we can then go make a difference in the world and then talk about it. See, because it's the manifestation of all of us today. And while we started out the All Hands meeting, we're talking about it in the middle, right? We talked about how tough it is in the middle. That's tough in the middle, right? And we're blessed that by doing what we do, by taking that extra step in the BPMs, or by taking that extra phone call, and I know it's 5 o'clock and your shift is over, but you take that last phone call because there's 3 calls in the queue, or you cut that last frame, or you join that last frame, or you make more with less, or you talk gently to somebody, or you send a core value card, or you do the things you do. That's what makes this company special. It's not just frames. In fact, it's never about frames. It's about each and every one of us. We're on the brink of incredible things. I thank God every day. I'm like, God, I'm not that smart. Why are you doing this to me? And all I hear is continue to move forward and bring people with you. Continue to make a difference. Continue to inspire people to do their best. And even when it looks stupid, even when you're mocked and ridiculed, even when you're in the middle, keep going. That's all I hear. I feel protected. I feel like this shield around me. I feel guided, like this head is over me. And as long as I'm leader of this company, I'm gonna wash this. As long as I'm a leader of this company, I will continue to raise the standard for who we are in hopes that I help raise your standards to live a remarkable life, not just a good life. Because life, you can squeeze it and so much greatness can come out. And I can't thank you guys enough. When building this all hands meeting, it's rarely, there's nothing about me here. This is about a collective group. I'm one guy rowing in the boat with you guys. I'm a humble guy. I wear the same t-shirts every day. But working with you just drives me. People say, where do you get this energy from? It's all of you. You guys, when I see your excellence, when I see your determination, your grit, your passion, I'm like, I gotta step up my game. They're counting on me. And as a leadership team, I remind people, how are we serving one another? How are we being the best leaders? And by the way, we're not perfect. Don't hold me to perfect, because I screw shit up at times. But folks, this future is bright. Despite what happens outside, there's going to be wars and turmoil and challenges and cancer and marriages, but imagine you have a group of people you can lean on, that we become friends. And it's not just a job, because that's what we're building here. We're not just building this is not just an 8 to 5 or whatever it is. We're building legacy. I want to build leaders that, whether you decide 5 years is your time with me and you go on to do remarkable things, God bless your heart. I know I had 0.1% of that grit that I helped you get there. And for me, that makes life worthwhile. And we're growing and we're getting new business. I don't know how to tell you this. It's not just about our products, because countless times people tell me, you got a remarkable team. I wish I could bottle that. You got a remarkable team. And so, in closing, I want to salute our New Jersey team, who sometimes doesn't get enough love, but I love you with all my heart. To Atlanta, who you guys have been like the little dysfunctional child for the last 6 months, because we threw so much business at you. And it's not all my fault, it's partly Luke's fault. Luke, I got to bring you with me. But thank you for trying and pressing buttons and breaking shit and moving forward. And Katie, thank you for not jumping off kind of a proverbial bridge. Your tenacity, your will to win is infectious. I love it. To Anthony and Shelly, leaders of LA, you guys are remarkable. You've been a steady pillar for me for decades. I've known Anthony, I think, since we were early 20s. I'm 48 years old. That's life. And Anthony started out as a little very humble inventory guy, and now running that facility. And Shelly and just a number of amazing humans in LA and Toronto. What can I say about you guys? You guys are family. I see you every day. I sit 6 feet from majority of you. Whether it's Tanya and the customer care team, or Michael who's leading finance, and Mel and marketing, and it's a blessing. And our sales team, led by Tanya. Tanya, you've done a remarkable job over the years. Not an easy gig. I know I'm not easy, but thank you for your tenacity and your hard work and perseverance and grit. And I know Luke's going to supercharge that. Wait till he plugs in, it's going to be supercharged. And Jen and our e-com side and POD side, super blessed. And really every single one of you who takes time out of the day away from their families, I don't take that lightly. You leave your families every day to come here to make a difference. And collectively, I hope you feel what I feel. It's a blessing. I want you to feel it. That we're making a difference, not only within the industry, but we're making a difference worldwide. Even albeit small, and even albeit from a t-shirt, but we're making a difference. And I'm just proud to be on this journey with all of you. And with that said, All Hands Meeting 45 is complete. Thank you so much. I love you very much. And the best is yet to come. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.